Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Food with Mike. I'm Mike. Today in my cookie series, I'm making my favorite cookie of all time. It's my family's oatmeal cookies. I don't know where the recipe came from, kind of like last week with the peanut butter balls. No idea where it came from, but they're not your typical oatmeal cookies. These are more of a crumbly, almost like a pecan sandy style texture. Unbelievable flavor. Stick around. I'll show you how it gets done. They're a little tricky sometimes, so I'm going to show you a couple tricks that I do to make it work a little easier for you. So to start this, we got to cream the sugars together with the butter and the other fat, which is Crisco. I've got in here 3 cups of sugar with 1 cup of brown sugar. I've got 2 sticks or 1 cup, or 2 cups now, I guess, of salted butter. I also have, and make sure I give you the right numbers here, I'm going to have this all in the description below. I'm going to have 1 cup of Crisco. Again, this probably came out of an old magazine or cookbook back in the 60s or something. I don't know. I've been eating this my whole life, and we only get it at Christmas time. We're going to cream these together. Normally, I would use a KitchenAid, but I stripped the gears in mine, and I have to fix it. So let this cream together. It helps if you plug it in. Word of advice. Plug your stuff in before you use it. Cream this all together, and we'll add everything else to it. This part's quick. We're looking for a soft texture. And soften your butter before you do it too. That helps. Okay. That's basically what we're looking for. I'm going to scrape down the sides a little bit more. This is just kind of incorporate everything together. Then we'll get the rest of it in here. Like I said, it's an easy recipe, but it can tend to get a little bit crumbly because it's not your typical oatmeal cookie batter. Okay. Now we add, I've got in here 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. They're going in. I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour here. That's going to go in. And I have, let me see, 3 cups of quick oats. And I'm going to try not to make a mess out of this. Just get it all mixed together. I just bought this mixer today, so if I burn this one out, I don't really care so much. Like I said, the KitchenAid, it's a lot easier. But it's all in one bowl. We want to get that butter around everything in here. So that's it. This part's done. Now what we do is we put this in the fridge for 1 hour. I'm going to cover this with plastic. Put it in the fridge for 1 hour, and when we come back, I'll show you how we shape the balls in. Well, we shape this into balls and then press them down with a little trick that I like to do. So stick with me. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been in the fridge for an hour or so. The next stage is going to be the trickiest part you're going to have to deal with because this dough is kind of crumbly. You got to pack it tight when you make these balls. So what I'm going to show you is I take my, again, 2-ounce scooper. I scoop a little bit more actually. I make a bigger ball than really what it is. And I pack it tight. This is kind of the key. I'm going to lay these all out on the cookie sheets, the sheet trays, and I have a sill pad on some, and I have a parchment on one of them here. I do a lot at once, so I have my little ways of doing it. And then we're going to press them down with a glass. I'm actually going to use a measuring cup. I'll show you that when we get there. Let me get these all portioned out here, and when we come back, I'll show you how we get the next stage done. So this is the part here where most people have problems. Because I packed them as tight as I could, and I mean really as tight as I could, that's going to help us. So what I do is I usually have a glass, but this is just a measuring cup, as you can see. Anything with a good flat bottom. I put a little bit of Crisco on the bottom here, smear it on there, put some sugar on it, and then I press down. I'm not going to press too much, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, I do that for each one of these cookies. You see how it cracks a little bit and stuff like that? That's what I'm looking for, because that's actually going to add flavor. That's what they look like when they come out. They don't really spread or, expand much at all. So just do these for all of them. 350-degree oven for 11 to 15 minutes, but really what I'm looking for is just a little tiny bit of browning on the edges. And then they're done. You're not going to go wrong with them just being a little bit brown. If you get them too much, then obviously they're going to be just crumbly, and you don't want them crumbling apart while you're trying to eat them. And again, we're not flattening these out too thin. I'm just pressing them down a little bit, and I want the edges to crack. So I'm going to get these all pressed down. I'm going to get them in the oven, and when they come out, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, well, you can see here, that's kind of what the cookie should look like. They're not perfectly round or anything like that. You can see the edges here. They are so good. My favorite cookie in the whole world right here. Not like, oops, there's my timer. It's not like the typical oatmeal cookie you're going to see where it's soft and chewy. This is more of a crumbly, like I said, it's kind of like a pecan sandy, but oatmeal-y instead. So give this recipe a shot. Let me know how it goes for you. Again, I don't know where this came from. It's just been my favorite cookie since I was a little kid. So give this a shot. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It helps me out immensely when you do that. And I'll see you all next time. Have an awesome day.